The first sounds at dawn in Lysychansk are always the same now. The whistle of incoming fire from close by Russian positions. Even in the shelters, we've heard the rumble of war above all night, and it's the first sound you hear on waking. We've agreed not to film anyone sheltering with us, but there are families with young children here. The city has been bombed to bits.
It's not easy.
Vitaly, one of the police still here, cannot believe the level of destruction. 3/4 of the city centre has gone.
I think that the infrastructure of Lysychansk will be destroyed as Severodonetsk infrastructure. I think similar.
Their twin city, Severodonetsk, is just over this bridge, now under Russian control. Lysychansk is on the brink of being next. Aid centre after aid centre has been shattered. This seems a deliberate attempt to starve the city into submission. So this used to be a humanitarian hub, and you can see it's absolutely destroyed by fire, by all sorts. And they're coming under continual sustained attack. The Russians are destroying everything in their path. If and when they do finally take over Lysychansk, they're going to inherit a pile of rubble. It's mostly left to volunteers to deliver aid. There are about 10 to 15,000 people still in Lysychansk. Many, like Svetlana, don't want to leave.
Страшно говорить даже. Очень опасно.
Vitaly, the volunteer, has brought a few essentials, all desperately hard to get hold of now.
Ой, хлеб, боже, хлеб давно не видели. Пеку там какие-то коржики и тоже ничего не принесло.
Подержите удостоверение.
Her husband Fedya shows us the bunker where they flee when the shelling's too intense. Fedya doesn't buy into the Western war narrative. He lives in a very pro-Russian area and is reluctant to say who is the aggressor.
Кто его знает, чи Зеленский, чи Украина, вернее, Россия свое, Зеленский свое доказывает. И там не знаешь, кто вот уже пенсии 5 месяцев нема. Ни Зеленский не платит, ни Россия не платит. Все. Вот то. Как бачишь, картошку последнюю доедаем и все.
There's a deep suspicion about Ukrainian soldiers here, where pro-Russian separatists have made their mark. Much of the misery, the daily, even hourly struggle to survive, is blamed on them. Even finding water is a mission. And listen to what they're singing. It's a Soviet victory tune.
Привет, а вы откуда?
Where are you from? Another asks us.
А вы откуда? С России, это, с Америки? А?
Британская.
Британия?
Британия.
Так не пишите правду. Правду не пишите.
At one of the city's lakes where they're getting water, few will talk to us. This group blames the Ukrainian government and all supporting them. Who do you blame for the whole thing?
Украинцев. Ну это они же развязали, никто же другой. Россия наоборот хочет помочь Украине.
The trees offer some visual cover, but no one feels safe here. No one is safe, and every hour the city edges closer to being cut off. So in this crazy urban battlefield, contact from faraway family brings tears and joy.
Спасибо вам большое.
Her grandson's fighting to keep the Russians out. Neighbours in the same city find themselves on opposite sides of this war.
Спасибо большое. Знаєте, коли вона кончиться? Скажіть, пожалуйста, коли кончиться війна? Коли? Сил уже немає сил. Коли кончиться війна, скажіть.
But there's no sign of an end at all. These Ukrainian special forces inside the city centre are part of the troops stopping the Russians from entering. Each delay allows time for more bolstering of defensive positions elsewhere. But for every inch of territory, the Russian troops are paying for it heavily in lives and equipment. Russian media is now showing images of themselves inside the city's oil refinery, where we saw such savage engagement not more than 48 hours earlier. They're highlighting bloody Ukrainian uniforms and weapons. This defense comes with deadly sacrifices. The Ukrainians are trying to keep their enemy from entering the city centre. But this enemy is smashing its way in. Okay, they're landing every few minutes, and this one's been quite close. And there are frantic last attempts to persuade people to leave.
Не собирался.
А почему?
Просто думаем, что дальше ждем.
Ну, что дальше? Дальше ждем боевых действий.
Уже идут.
И вы видите, интенсивность каждым днем все больше и больше.
Уже идут.
Вот. Поэтому есть смысл. На
Жену отправил, ты отправил.
есть смысл на какое-то время сейчас покинуть территорию активных боевых действий. Ну, тем самым спасти себя хотя бы. Понимаете?
Могу пройти?
Да, идите,
He
пожалуйста.
doesn't seem convinced. Many fear they'll never return. But some have no choice. Hennadi's held out so long, but with the fighting almost on his doorstep, he's taking probably his last chance to leave. Among those fleeing, a young mother and her teenage son. A few hours earlier, they were scrambling out of their burning home after it was hit. Her husband didn't make it. They have no idea where they're going or where they'll stay.
Бомбежку пережили, мины пережили, ракеты пережили, грады пережили. Но мой муж не пережил грады. Его полностью разорвало. Мы его похоронили во дворе. Сегодня нас военные вывезли.
The routes out of the city are constantly shelled and tracked by Russian spotter drones, and their troops are steadily closing in on this corridor to block it off entirely. Alex Crawford, Sky News, in Lysychansk, in the Donbass in eastern Ukraine.